I absolutely think that we need to continue to reinvent ourselves. When you think about it, it's been said that the only constant out there in the world is in fact change. And when you think about it, every industry and every product has a very specific life cycle that we deal with. And when you look at the rapid increases, rapid advancements in technology and the speed of applications development, all of those life cycles just seem to be continually compressing. So continuous growth, I think, from our perspective as a company, has got to be able to encompass that speed of change in innovation. And look, people thought we were crazy back in 1997 when we decided to launch cable telephone, circuit switched cable telephone. The rest of the industry thought that we were absolutely nuts. But we reinvented our business model around cable telephone back in 1997. We reinvented that model yet again with the introduction of VoIP technology back in 2003. And we'll reinvent our business model yet again as we deploy wireless in the next several years. So, our vision as a company is to be the most trusted provider of communication and entertainment services in the industry, or I guess I should say in America. And that might be a lofty vision, but that's what a good vision really is. So we're convinced that we can do it if we continue to reinvent ourselves and reinvent our business plans to keep up with the ever-changing customer requirements. Well, let me tell you about several areas that we're focused on. Sometimes you think, well, how can you focus on a lot of different areas? But there's so much going on in the industry. Let me take it through several different key points. First of all, on the network side, as you know, we've done things a little bit differently than most of our brethren in the industry by deciding to go to 1 gigahertz. I think we're going to be very pleased that we decided to do that on the HFC plant. So we'll continue to drive fiber deeper in our network in using our EON plan, or the Extendable Optical Network plan, and drive most of our networks to 1 gigahertz out there. Not everybody's going to be at 1 gigahertz, but the vast majority will be. We'll also still be growing in the next 12 to 18 months extremely well on the broadband front. We continue to take market share from our competitors in broadband, and we'll begin deploying DOCSIS 3.0 in very strategic markets, and you can read strategic as being competitive markets. But we'll deploy DOCSIS 3.0 in those competitive markets, and that's going to drive infrastructure and for DOCSIS, but also drive infrastructure for both metro and backbone transport costs for capacity. On the telephone side, you're going to see really strong continued growth in telephone as we continue to deploy our cap and growth strategy on circuit switched by deploying our VoIP technology. So from your perspective, that's going to drive a continuous need for EMTAs and a lot of packet switched infrastructure, looking at the packet cable architecture long term. It's also going to require us to put our IMS core in place in the next 12 to 18 months so that we can begin to prepare for the need for very rapid applications development and enablement and deployment. And on the video side, HD, it's amazing how HD has flourished in our markets, and you're going to see continued rollout in HD. You're going to see continued rollout in video on demand. You're going to see continued rollout across all of our systems in what we call My Prime Time. And My Prime Time is taking our prime time the really best primetime television shows and getting them on VOD as rapidly as we can get them on video on demand. Of course, we disable the fast forward function in order to do that, but it's an outstanding program, and at some point in the not too distant future, we're hoping to be able to put those primetime shows on video on demand within 1 minute after their airing. So that's going to be a great product and a growth strategy for us. And that, for you guys, is really going to be driving the need, a significant need for edge comms, a significant need for switch digital infrastructure. But in addition to that, of course, the underlying VOD architectural infrastructure. Let me turn to Cox Business. As you know, Cox Business has been a huge growth engine for this company. We got into business telephony long before anybody else in the industry did, and it's a huge growth engine for us. And that's, again, driving the need for metro and core transport infrastructure. And it's also driving the need for a wide range of SIP-based end solutions, if you will, and also T1 over HFC solutions. So that's something that I think that you guys could potentially help us with. And then we've got a lot of other things out there on the horizon that are really starting to kick off, and that's in the next 12 to 18 months. And that's including the advanced advertising project. You may have heard of Canoe, where the industry has now decided we're going to get together and we're going to make this happen from a national advertising, a national interactive advertising platform perspective. So there's going to be a lot of development effort going on in the next 12 to 18 months to pull that all together so that we can offer that service to our other customers on the programming side and on the content side and on the advertising side. And finally, I'll just add, Cox has not really announced our intent on the wireless front yet. But as you know, we've been very public in the acquisition of spectrum, both from an AWS spectrum perspective and at 700 megahertz. And we've got spectrum now that covers all of our markets. And while I won't make an announcement here on this video, what I will tell you is that we didn't buy that spectrum as a real estate investment. And you'll see us deploying wireless in a big way in the next 12 to 18 months. My real concern and what keeps me awake at night is when is the next software bug going to rear its ugly head and take down my network or take down just a substantial number of customers? Or when is the next software upgrade going to go bad? And what could I do, or what could I have done, or what could my vendors have done to avert that? That's what keeps me awake at night.